How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of the new Galaxy Tab 3 7.0. The question is, worth it or a waste? Is it worth it to pick up this bad boy? Let's find out. So let's jump right into the pros first. This tablet has a great design. I really love the improvements they've made to the look, and I actually have a Tab 2 to compare right next to it, so you can just see. And I know I did do a video on this. Some of you may have seen the video that just compares the two, but I just wanted to show you size wise how different they look. So just tapping all kind of buttons here. So on the Tab 2, the bezel was so much thicker, you know, and to me this is wasted space, you know, because it's just so big around the edge, whereas on the new one the bezel is a lot thinner. The design is a lot more sleek. The curves are even more rounded. They don't have this big gray around the edge there, and I love that. I like that they've made the device smaller, and they've made it look a little more elegant. They even have a couple of new colors that's available, and now you can actually get it in this brown where you couldn't get this one in that color. So just to show you the difference, even size wise, this one's a little bit thinner, the new one, and this one's lighter. The new one is about a little under 2 ounces lighter, so when you hold it, it's actually a little bit lighter in your hand. And you know, I'm sure no one really thinks is, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a tablet that's heavy, but obviously you would prefer something that's lighter, especially if you want to carry it around with you. I carry my tablet all the time, and I definitely don't, you know, like I've had, for example, the iPad and the original iPad, and it was so heavy, and it made it so that I just didn't want to carry it around because it was so heavy. So the fact that it's lighter, even for ladies that are thinking about picking up this tablet, you're going to love it. You know, lighter, sleeker, easier to hold in your hand. So those are just, you know, that's just a huge pro. I thought was just the change in the design. So that's right off the bat. The next thing is the Tab 3 now has dedicated touch buttons on the front here. So we have a menu button as well as we have a back button. So if you go into an app, you can actually tap that button and it will take you back one step. So for example, if I go into the calendar and I start tapping things, and then I tap on this, and then I tap on this, if I tap back, well, it depends on what you're doing. Let's see, if I were to go into here and then I tap back, it'll take me back, and it'll take me back to here. So a little bit easier. The fact that this button is now right on the front. These buttons are sometimes a little hard to tap, and sometimes you gotta tap them a few times to get them to really activate. So we do have these new buttons that are now, you know, they're right there. They're right there, and they're going to make it easier for you to get to your menu. Menus that are in certain apps are going to make it easier, as well as getting to your settings. If you want to add widgets and add folders and change your wallpaper, you got a button right there that's going to make it so much easier to do that. The next thing is you now have a dedicated home button. So on the original Tab 2, there was this home icon right here. Now you actually have a home button. So for example, if I'm in an app on the Tab 2, you know, this button is smaller and it's touch. So if your tab froze, this button's probably not going to work as often as when you have a dedicated home button. And if I were to go into an app right now and I'm like, oh, you know, don't want to go in there right now, or I want to go back and do something else, bam, home button, and you're back home. And the home button even has a couple of other really cool built-in features. For example, if you hold the button down, it brings up your multitask, so you can see what apps you have open and you can close it. So that's kind of a plus, as well as you can launch your Google Now, and Google Now is a cool thing that kind of learns where you go. It learns like your favorite teams, your stocks, your news, and it will recommend certain things that are inclined to what you normally search on Google. So that's kind of cool. So you got the new button. That's cool. It's always good to have a hard button because every now and then things freeze up, but when you have that button, it's going to make things a little bit easier. And I think if you double tap it, double tapping it does launch what is called S Voice. So S Voice is kind of like Siri, but for Samsung tablets, and so you can actually speak to it, and you can have it launch certain apps for you. You can have it type things for you. Connection. You do have to have an internet connection for it to work, but all that's activated through that home button. Okay. Next thing here, we do have our micro SD card slot, so you can expand the memory. This is the base model, which is $199, and so it only comes with 8 gigs, which is kind of a pro and a con. It really kind of depends on who you're talking to, and that's because a lot of people don't download a lot of movies per se, or not even a lot of music, but the average person is really downloading a lot of apps, a lot of games, checking email, they're going online, and so for that person you don't really need a lot of internal storage, so you can get the one for $199. You do get the 8 gigs of memory, and if you want to expand it because you want to add some pictures or a lot of pictures or a lot of movies, you can get the memory card, and that will allow you to basically put more on the device. So kind of a pro, kind of a con. It depends on who you are and what you plan on using it for. And also, I mentioned the price, and that's another pro, is that it comes out at a $200 price point, and that's not on sale. Obviously, it could go on sale and it could be even lower. The Tab 2 is also $199, but it's on sale for $169. They actually do still carry it at some stores, so it's really a $30 difference between these two tablets. Now, today is obviously the what is it, August 27th, so by the time you watch it, you know, things could be different. The price of this could be even lower, and this could not even be out anymore, so just putting that out there. But I love the price they released it at, because they've priced it to sell, and I think that a lot of people are going to buy it simply for the fact that it's so inexpensive, but it looks so much nicer. And another pro just to throw out there is that it is faster than the Tab 2. It does have a 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor, so it is going to perform a little bit quicker. Right now I'm just going to tap. If we just tap the app button there and you kind of watch how fast it moves, the Tab 2 can be a little choppy, but the Tab 3 does move a lot quicker when you do that switching. So and that is because of the better processor that is in the Tab 3. Next thing is on the Tab 3, it does come with more preloaded apps, and I'm gonna read off a list of a bunch of the free apps that come with it right off the bat when you purchase it. You get Dropbox, and they actually give you 50 gigs of free Dropbox storage, I think for 2 years. I could be wrong, might be between 1 and 2 years of Dropbox storage. You get an app called Chat On, which is a messaging app. Google Chrome does come built in this time. Flipboard you get, which is a great app to keep track of your news, Facebook, your Twitter, in a nice cool format. As well as Google Plus, Google Play, Music Hub, Paper Artist, which is an app you can use to draw certain things and do some artistic things. It also comes stock with Polaris Office, which is, you can use that to type Word, Excel, or PowerPoint documents, or to view them, or to edit them, and that is a free app, so you don't even have to pay for that. On an iPad, if you wanted to get a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint equivalent, you do have to purchase it, and you end up paying, I think, anywhere from $15 and $30 to get that. So it comes free on here. For $200, you're getting a lot. A couple other things: you get S Planner, which is Samsung's calendar app. You get S Voice, which is like the Siri equivalent for Samsung tablets. You get Smart Remote, and that is because the Tab 3 does have an IR blaster built in, which is the Tab 2 also has. It's used to send out an infrared signal, and you can use that to actually control your TV. This can actually be used as a remote for your home television. You do have to set it up, and it's a very quick setup process. I believe it's all done through Peel, or you can do it through Watch On. Both these apps can facilitate that for you. So another really cool thing there, as well as Trip Advisor. That's another app that lets you plan out trips as well. So you get a lot packed in this tablet for $200. So that's why just stressing a lot of the great pros about getting this tablet. Now, let's see. Also, the Tab 3 does come stock with Jelly Bean 4.1 1.2. For those of you that are familiar with Android operating systems, it's kind of like how Apple has iOS 6 or iOS 5. I think iOS 6 coming out, iOS 7. Theirs is called Jelly Bean. Every year the name changes as they upgrade it, but right now you're going to get the newest Android operating system, which is Jelly Bean 4.1.2 on here, and you get a lot of the great features that come as Google continues to upgrade the operating system. So that's there. What else? The front-facing camera is better on the Tab 2. The front camera is only a VGA camera, which is like old-school computer quality, whereas on the Tab 3 you get a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, and the rear camera is 3 megapixels. So that's a great plus. You have a better camera for like FaceTime, Face Chat, Skype. I just said FaceTime, Face Chat. Those things are all only on the iPad. What I meant to say was Skype, or if you wanted to use Google Hangouts. That's like their version of like FaceTime. You can do video chatting with people, or Uvu, or any of those other video sites like that. And the last, I think I actually hit everything. I think those are all the those were all the pros. I'm gonna say the last. I got real hyped about that, and I already said the last thing. So anyway, those are the pros, and as you notice, that is a long list of things because the Tab 3 really is packed with a lot of new features, a lot of great things that makes me love this tablet. Now there are a couple of cons, there's not many. Let me just go over them real quick here. So the first thing is the resolution is the same. They didn't make any modifications to the screen. Now if you look at this one, it actually does look a little bit better, but it really has the same screen as the Tab 2. So you know, I say that's a con because I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a bump up in the screen quality. Not a big deal, but just gotta point it out. The next thing is you do lose a key feature that is on the Tab 2, and that is what's called mini apps. So how you could like tap calendar, for example, and you could pop up a calendar that you could move, kind of a multitasking feature, is not available on the Tab 3. I think they are phasing out that feature, and what should be coming to the Tab 3 at some point is the multi-view or multi-window app, which allows you to look at 2 apps at once. But unfortunately right now you don't have any substitute for this app. It's not available on the Tab 3. So that is one con. Again, calendar, you could have popped up email, you could pop up the task manager, and you could literally have all these different things on the screen at one time, and that is not an option on the Tab 3. So just a small con there. Now the last con is that, and this is a big thing for me, this multitasking button right here that allows you to pull up a list of all your running apps is no longer available on the Tab 3. What does that mean? Well, on the Tab 3, the way they've changed it is you have your menu button, your home button, and you have your back button as well. But that's it. You don't have an app for pulling up your multitask list. The only way to pull it up is you have to hold down on the home button. And I particularly don't like that because I think it's faster to be able to just tap this opposed to hold that. You see how it takes a little bit longer to launch that? So I don't really like that. I wish they would add another button that would let you pull up, because I like to see, a lot of times I have a lot of apps running and I just need to check so I can close a couple of things out. So that really is the only other con, is although you're getting a great home button, you are losing the multitask button, which allows you to quickly see what apps you have open. It also allows you to switch between apps quicker, because it's like bam and bam, and you're there, you're on the new app. So other than that, I really love this tablet, and I think you guys are going to love it as well. Again, it retails for $199. They do have some larger storage options. I think they have a 16 gig 32, 16 and a 32 gigabyte. So if you're looking for a tablet, well, I haven't even asked the main question. We always have to go back to the main question, which is worth it or waste. And I think probably from listening to the review, you can tell this is definitely a stamped worth it. This tablet is awesome. For 200 bucks, you're getting so much bang for your buck. It is out of this world. You can do a lot with it in terms of surfing the web, email. Great for reading. If you're a reader, you're going to love reading on this, especially because it is lighter. And it's a little bit smaller in terms of the dimensions. So I definitely recommend this tablet. I think you're going to love it. I think this is probably going to be one of the hottest selling tablets of Christmas 2013. Definitely recommend it. And I hope you guys did find this review helpful. Make sure you like the video if you did find it helpful. Subscribe to H2TechVideos and keep watching. We always appreciate your views. Alright? Take care and have a good one.